So the first episode was called The Firebird and featured a bird that lived in lava, so I can't imagine what an episode called The Earth Eater will be about. Though, minor break from our usual formalities, the opening of the series is actually kind of epic, until of course Godzuki shows up. Seriously, they should have just quit while they were ahead. Opening in San Francisco, we see David Copperfield's latest trick, making a whole building disappear, and along with whole streets. I think he may have gone a little too far this time. Oh wait, it's actually, I want to say monster, but that word wouldn't be weird enough. I think the word abomination would work though. We join our cast of man, woman, black, and child in their ever-constant search for actual personalities. People question how a bumblebee can fly. I question how Godzuki can. Getting close to San Fran, the team realizes that everyone appears to be fleeing the city, with even more problems occurring as the bridge looks unsteady, meaning they have only one option.
Captain Majors, call Godzilla!
You're right. He's the only one who can help.
Oh yes, because Godzilla suddenly appearing near a bunch of hysterical, frightened people is sure to be a great idea.
It's Godzilla! He'll save us!
Although apparently in this universe everyone knows who Godzilla is, so... okay. However, Godzuki does come along to irritate our jolly green hero and do nothing, as usual in this series. And somehow saving just one small section of the bridge was all that was needed to help. Weird. The gang go to investigate, leaving the child and Godzuki alone as they venture underground with no gear.
What's that?
I heard that same sound before the bridge collapsed.
And it's getting closer.
Hold on, Godzuki!
Yeah, this was a great idea. Just a grade A plan there, guys. Godzuki shows that he can change sizes as he goes from giant to about as tall as the others a couple of times.
I think it might have something to do with what's going on around here.
I think you're right, Pete.
It's huge.
Looks like somebody's been tunneling down into the earth.
Whilst the black guy asks if the cave is natural, to which the woman says that she's not sure. Except she then says,
I'm not sure what it could be, Brock. This earth isn't volcanic, and it looks like it's been freshly dug or bitten into.
Which means you do know, because your answer would then be no. No, they aren't. The team beat a retreat, but are trapped by the creature's psychic power? I don't know. Using a little bit of science, though, they do manage to drive the creature back and manage to flee.
Let's throw some more light on the situation.
You're right. Living in the darkness, it can't stand the light.
Unlike we've seen in other episodes, the kid's face somehow ends up looking like an old man. The creature appears outside the tunnel, apparently now not caring about the bright sunny day in San Fran, despite what just happened, and chases after them.
Captain, hit the Godzilla signal!
It's gone. I must have lost it when we were digging Pete and Godzuki out.
They get Godzuki to call Godzilla, making the whole "we don't have the signal for it" kind of a waste, but it does mean that we're treated to Godzilla's deformed face. Yeah, that shot still looks awful. It's like it's been beaten with a frying pan. The team try to flee, with a building behind them disappearing and reappearing between shots, as well as the whole city apparently.
It's the dirt, it's too soft!
Godzuki, we need a push!
Really? He proved already he can lift it with no problem, so why are they having him push? Godzilla arrives, almost looking like he's sporting pants due to how the shadows fall on him, and uses his laser eye beams. Oh yeah, I forgot in this series he has those. Despite the fact he's a giant monster with immense strength, and eye beams seem the least necessary thing. The Earth Eater flees as the team goes all Scooby-Doo and prepares to trap the monster. They attempt to force the monster topside, but not before it manages to phase through part of the screen at the bottom due to a slight animation error. They think they've actually trapped it, but it just digs its way out. Because that's what it does. You idiots. So they call in Godzilla again, who now looks far larger and... okay, that's kind of smart if a little physics breaking. A battle breaks out between the two monsters, well, either that or a hugging contest, I can't actually tell, with Godzuki giving Godzilla the equivalent of a pep talk as we go for round 3. Godzilla ends up searching for the monster like a lost pair of house keys as...
Pete, forget it. It didn't go down, it went up.
Really? How the balls did anyone miss him up there? The creature falls from the bridge, costing likely millions in property damage, as he simply dissolves in the water.
He's turning into mud.
Feeding on dirt, his natural enemy was water.
I don't think that's quite right. Not many solid creatures just dissolve in water like the Wicked Witch of the West. Godzilla, looking smug as all hell, leaves to parts unknown, once again. But not before giving something close to a Nazi salute. Yeah, I think the animators maybe should have redrawn that. As we end out the episode. Now, as much as I like to mock this show, I do concede that a lot of this is due to when it was made. The animation is spotty and strange, with things like backgrounds disappearing, obvious repeated or reused footage, and sizes changing between scenes, as well as the faces of the characters sometimes seeming lifeless. And the same can be said for the voices, there's still nothing there, mostly because all 4 characters are pretty much the same, something Scooby-Doo got a little better at in having differences in their personalities. Some credit for the episode, though, has to go to the fact there's an actual fight in it, unlike the first episode. There's not just 2 monsters staring each other down, even if most of the fight is just Godzilla shooting his laser eye beams. The Earth Eater was also an interesting being, some amalgam of an ant, a dinosaur, and possibly a little robot. The different parts of the design being kind of obvious as they perhaps stood out a little too much. Though the ending seemed way too last minute, having a creature just dissolve in the water for no other reason than because it eats mud so it'll dissolve? What about all the things it ate that hadn't been digested yet? Are they going to appear in the bay littering all of the coastline with debris? Also, I found it odd that everyone was able to get out so easily, but I can take that as a needed plot point, so as not to have anyone in harm's way once the monsters start fighting. Though, I think that would be one hell of an interesting conversation to have when people came back. Oh yeah, there was a giant monster, but it dissolved in the bay, so no biggie. This episode and the series as a whole is more nostalgic fun than something to be taken too seriously, and it shows just how far cartoons have come. But unfortunately, it's not quite as entertaining as some other shows from that same era. But for now, I've been Tyas, this has been Tyas Looks At, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to be kept up to date with new content and show some support for the show, you can find our page on Facebook, find me on Twitter at Tyas Looks At, or subscribe to this channel on Dailymotion. Or if you want to support this show even further, you can find it on patreon.com/TyasLooksAt. Supporting the show will give you access to videos earlier than anyone else, additional bonus reviews, as well as other perks, and allow me to spend more time making content like this. In any way, shape or form you choose to show your support to the show, thanks for watching.